Welcome to the Embodied Empath Podcast, the space where sensitive, intuitive women learn to regulate their nervous system, heal anxiety, and live with grounded confidence. I'm your host, Valerie Lundgren. Let's begin. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately you felt responsible for that energy? Like if someone is off, you can feel it. And not only do you feel it, but you feel like you need to fix it. Or maybe it shows up like this. You replay a conversation, kind of wondering if someone is upset. You take on emotions that aren't yours. You feel guilty when someone is struggling. And you carry things long after they've happened. And somewhere in your body, there's this quiet belief that if something feels off, I should do something about it. If that resonates with you, this episode is for you. This is the Embodied Empath Podcast, and I am Valerie Lundgren. And today we are going to talk about why you feel responsible for everyone and how to begin letting that go. So, the truth of the matter is you are not responsible for everyone, but your nervous system may believe you are. And that belief didn't come from nowhere. This pattern usually starts early. So this happens when we're little kids. And it usually happens in environments where the emotions are usually unpredictable. The tension was unspoken in the household. Maybe you had to read the room when you were little or had to stay aware. You might have had to keep things from escalating. Your body learned something very important. If I can feel it early, I can manage it. So you became attuned, aware, responsive, and emotionally intelligent, but also hyper responsible. So let's talk about what's happening underneath this. Your nervous system is constantly scanning for safety. This happens through neuroception, your body's subconscious threat detection system. So when you walk into a space, your system picks up on the tone of voices, the facial expressions of others. You can just pick up on energy even, like body language, silence. And if something feels off, your system activates it, not into a panic, but into this responsibility. This almost vigilante, like I need to fix this. Something needs to be handled. And if this pattern has been reinforced over time, that responsibility becomes automatic. This connects directly to what we talked about earlier with the fawn response. So instead of a fighting or fleeing, your system learned to appease and manage. So you check in on others, you adjust your behavior. You soften your tone, you offer support, you fix emotional tension. Not because you're trying to control it, but because your system is trying to restore the safety. And this is the thing with empaths. We don't just notice an emotion, we experience it to the core. And this is connected to a more heightened mirror neuron activity. So this is your internal reflection of others' emotions. And this is also an increased sensitivity in the amygdala. This is our threat detection space. And a nervous system that is just highly responsive to social cues. So when someone else is uncomfortable, your body feels it. And because your system has learned discomfort equals something I need to fix, you move into action. So even when nothing is actually yours to carry, you will feel this. And there is a difference between empathy and responsibility, right? I get this a lot when I work with the empaths that I work with, because I think they're afraid if we start creating a little bit of a boundary or a deeper understanding that they won't have empathy. But it's actually the complete opposite. We still have empathy. Empathy is I can feel and understand what you're experiencing. And then responsibility in taking it on is I need to fix or change what you're experiencing. I know it's so hard as an empath to actually watch somebody go through their own suffering, but I'm telling you, it is needed. When we start taking away somebody else's problems, so if somebody is trying to process an emotion and they're feeling really uncomfortable, our go-to as empaths, again, is trying to fix it because we want to create safety again. We want to create safety for ourselves and for others. However, we're doing other people a disservice when we're fixing it all the time, because this person then is not learning how to emotionally regulate themselves. They're not learning resiliency, right? So we have to give a little bit more space to, hey, I can understand what you're experiencing, but I'm not here to fix it. It's so hard to do. Trust me, it takes some time to learn how to step back and do it, but it is doable. So over time, this pattern leads to exhaustion when we're taking on everybody else's stuff. And I see it so often, this exhaustion, this overwhelm. We have resentment about it. We also have emotional burnout and kind of a loss of self. That's a big one. I see so many women not knowing really themselves because that's all they've done is take care of everybody else and make sure everybody else is okay. Because you're just not living your life. You're holding everyone else's too. And your nervous system never fully rests. So if you're listening to this and thinking, I do this all the time, that awareness is powerful because you can't shift what you don't see. And this isn't about blaming yourself. This is about understanding that pattern your body had learned. So we're going to go into a little somatic practice. What's mine and what's not? All right, so reminder to do these somatic practices when you are sitting comfortably, either in a chair or at a desk, wherever you are, just as long as you're sitting comfortably and not driving. Please no driving while doing the somatic practice. So let's go ahead and create a small shift. Sitting comfortably, wherever you are, let's just take a slow breath in. And now bring to mind a situation where you feel responsible for someone else. Notice what happens in your body. Now gently place one hand on your chest and say silently, "This is mine." And just feel your body. Now imagine placing the other person's emotions just outside of you. Maybe you can imagine it being like a little suitcase or in a grocery bag or something. We're going to just take that other person's emotions, whatever situation you're in, and we're going to put them outside of you. We're not rejecting them. We're just separating. And then say, "That is theirs." And take a slow breath again. Hand on your heart. "This is mine." Separating and putting their emotions to the side, say, "That is theirs." Now notice the difference. Even if it's small, this is how you begin building differentiation within the nervous system. So, letting go doesn't mean you stop caring. It just means you stop carrying. So you can still be supportive, you can be present and be compassionate without taking responsibility for the outcomes that aren't yours. And this is deeper than behavior. It's identity. Moving from I am responsible for how everyone feels to I am responsible for how I show up. That's a completely different nervous system experience. So if you've been carrying everyone else and everything else lately, you're not too much. You're not overreacting. You're a nervous system that learned to take on more than it should. And now you're learning how to set it down gently. So if this episode resonated, go ahead and share it with someone who feels responsible for everything. And subscribe so we can keep doing deeper work together. You can also go to my website, valerielundgren.co, and download your free nervous system guide. And you don't have to carry the room to be safe. You're allowed to just be in it. I'll see you in the next episode. This episode supported you. Share it with another empath who needs it. And if you're ready for deeper work, somatic coaching, nervous system healing, or my Embodied Reset program, just visit mindfulwellness.me. Your healing is not a solo journey. See you next week.